Si bem svilvene sempre gente strana, ja voi pensiero pure che bonot, in meis un vers comme si le forza iragot, malgisia bonze.
Hello dear friends and welcome to the Early Music Podcast. My name is Darina Ablogina. The European Early Music Association, REMA, is currently going through a process to encourage transition for its members, more sustainability, inclusion, diversity, access for audiences and artists. Early music today embraces a multitude of perspectives, breathing new life into age-old compositions while challenging the boundaries of what we once understood about this era. In this season, we will discuss how diversity, be it cultural, musical, or interpretive, has played a key role in shaping the evolution of early music. In this episode, I invite you to join me in my conversation with the artistic director of the Zefiro Torna ensemble, Jurgen De Bruyn, about the shift in perspective towards ecological awareness and the collaborative approach as an example of interest and respect for other cultures.
We are in fact reframing early music, so try to find other angles to look to historical themes, to allegories, to mythology, and creating new kind of temporary art out of it, creating new kind of constellations, which also are talking about our time and making cross relations between the past and the present and the future.
You are evolving different programs of collaboration. Could you maybe tell about what you're doing with your ensemble, which kind of collaborations you establish?
A few years ago, we had a very beautiful project with collaboration with Vocal Consort Berlin and the Tunisian singer Galia Benali. But very interesting is to see that you can trace the poetry, which lead to the biblical texts, is very connected to the Arab wasf poetry. There's a new project coming up, and it's kind of an experiment, and it's called Unity in Diversity. It's a European lute song project where we go into residencies in several parts, regions, festivals. The idea is also to work on a common program.
In our conversation earlier, Jurgen mentioned a project he has launched during the corona pandemic, in which he reflects on the perspective of sustainability and connects it to the ecological part of the theme. It is interesting to see how musicians can implement this approach in the performance of early music.
Tried to deconstruct programmatic music of the Pastorale Symphony of Beethoven. It was a commission in the Beethoven year. A programmer asked us, can you do something about Beethoven? This is real far away from our scope. But then if you try to analyze what's the interest of Beethoven in nature themes and the humanism, what can be the power of people and how can people also destroy their environment. So there's a lot of interesting books now, like Anna Lowenhaupt Sing, talking about destroyed nature, but where some very rare fungi come out, the Matsutake, and that creates a new kind of economy. There's a new kind of economy coming up. Tells a lot about anthropological stuff, but also philosophical. What is still possible in partly destroyed world? Where we can find beauty? What are the opportunities to gain something which is important for the existence of human being? Like, for instance, we were in contact with a microbiologist who is a specialist in microorganisms, and it's such a whole world.
And how does diversity affect the life of your ensemble and the activities of your ensemble?
For me, it's always exciting to challenge myself, but also the people around me. In every new project, there are always new persons coming up, new artists to work with, and also to embrace the indeterminacy of keen encounters. So being open to new encounters and not being afraid, not try to close yourself into your bubble to look for new connections, because that's the only way we can make an evolution and how things can evolve. And it takes some courage to do that. It's not an easy thing. It would be maybe easier to stick with 4 or 5 people in an ensemble and then, like the Beatles, stay together for as long as possible.
And how do you feel as a group on the market, being not a usual early music ensemble, but having this interdisciplinary approach?
In the beginning, it was a bit ambigu. We thought we were an early music ensemble, but then maybe we weren't. That's why we call it now transhistorical music ensemble. Maybe it covers a bit more the load. Early music is just one of the scenes which you can reach, and there are so many other possibilities of theaters, of cultural places, festivals, other kinds of circuits. We collaborate a lot in the world of music theater. So they have other circuits. And that's also the nice thing. You also can expose your knowledge and your specialty, being an expert in early music. You can give new forms to it. That's what's so nice. There's now a show which was created. It's a kind of an immersive experience, like an alchemist labo, and the music is live going on. People can get something to eat, to smell. There are some alchemists on scene who prepare special things. It's like they're part of a ritual. We played this show for 150 times during the last 3 years, so it tells something about how people are open to new experiences.
Thank you very much for the conversation. Thank you for listening to our episode. Please find all additional information in the description box. I wish you all the best. Bye.